Right, Apex Rathian. Let's go. It's a good habit to bring a status weapon to Rampage. I'll change it when I get there. How about? I don't know if I have a good status sword and shield right now. Yep, we need to inflict some status ailments. That makes sense. Gather drop materials, use a Dragonator or Wyvern Shot. Repel using a cannon, inflict an Elemental Blight, inflict a status ailment. Oh, of course, the Rathian Sword and Shield. That will do. Thanks, Navalis. Good night, Crystal. It's unfortunate that there's not a place installments one this time. Use the Dragonair only counts if the use of it repels a monster. Interesting. Where is a Dragonator around these parts? There's not one here. I guess we have the Wyvern Shot once they get to the other area here. I wonder how quickly they recharge. We'll have to see. Okay. Let's put another ballista here. Yeah. I need to get better at shooting the cannons. I tried the cannons last time and I was really bad at actually getting them to repel the monster. Just missing a lot. What do you mean, Uchi? I didn't even know you could charge the shots until this previous time, Marth, so I'm still learning about that kind of thing. Nice, it's shared. Feels to me like some of the move buffs in Rise rival guards are supposed to be rare incidental, like the one from the IG yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I'm not stressing about that kind of thing. I know I'm not going to have 100% uptime on Spiral Thrust, which is the Lance one, or 100% uptime on the... on the Insect Wave one. Okay, thanks. It seemed like you're playing in such a way that you're chasing them. I don't really feel that way, Uchi. Yesterday I was trying to kind of feel out how feasible it felt to focus on and get the aerial buff from Insect Wave. And it didn't feel feasible, so I didn't worry about it later on this afternoon. I'm not even worrying about Spiral Thrust that often. Like, I was trying to work it in just because I need practice with the move, but I'm not really worried about keeping 100% uptime with it, honest. Nope, there's the counter signal. That didn't work on that for whatever reason. Alright, Mr. Arzuros. Where is he going? Weirdo. Is this ready yet? No. I mean, whenever there's a concept like that, Uchi, I'm interested in understanding how it works and how feasible it is. Like, is this how they intended me to play? Is this something where I should be going for this all the time, some of the time? It seems like with both of those things, both the Lance one and the Insect Wave one, you're obviously not going to be always floating in the air with Insect Wave and stuff like that. But I wanted to try out, like, okay, how easy is it to actually float around and try and maintain that damage? Yeah, so far, Marks, I've only just gotten the exploding kunai, it looks like. Oh, I should probably sharpen, huh? Whoops. Didn't even notice we were down to yellow. Yeah, I think a lot of the time, Uchi, that's sort of like me seeming like I'm forcing a move is probably not because I'm trying to like make that the main way I'm playing the game. It's probably because it's something new that I haven't practiced much. There's a lot of switch skills and a lot of ways to play in this game where, like, even though the game's been out for 3 months and I've had access to the game for a while and played all the weapons a good chunk, I still haven't tried nearly all the different playstyles and ways you can use switch skills and things. So you'll still probably catch me doing pretty dumpily with some of those moves, even still. Okay, we don't yet have the wyvern ones. Alright, I need to use cannons. So we're gonna go ahead and put a cannon here. There's still a good chunk of this game that I feel pretty pretty dumpy at. Mars, you say don't forget like I even know that. Don't forget the defender cannons can give blights too, although they can also steal repels. I didn't even know they could give blights. I figured they might, but I wasn't sure. Okay, we put a cannon back here. Let's leave a ballista here. Okay. See how this goes. Here's the 10. Okay, how do you charge something up? Okay, I'm charging it. But like, what do you do with it once it's charged? Oh, it's a big AoE. Okay, I see. Can you charge all 3 shots? You can charge all 3. And miss all 3. Okay, I think I understand how the cannon works now. I'd never even noticed that you could charge them up until earlier today. Hey, IRB, good ya. This one's going a little. This rampage just feels like it's going a little bit rougher because I'm trying more new things. Last time things were going a little smoother than this. He also didn't have freaking Bishaten. Okay. No. Okay, well, let's just try and repel using the cannon. The Rathian's gonna get through anyway, so it's not that big a deal if we end up back there first. I don't think. Get back here, you jerk. Oh, of course, he's gonna be the one who I'm running. Alright, fine. No. My finisher. Oh. Alright, he's gone. The cannon seemed to have like way less HP than the ballista to me. Wyvern shot's also up. Yeah, see, like I didn't even use this at all last time either. Lots of new things mean this is definitely gonna go worse than last time. I don't think we'll get 4 chances to use that. I could be wrong, but I doubt we will. Does Riz know what the counter seal and Gong do? Yes, I definitely know what they do. I didn't realize one was up because there's too much going on right now. I've never actually ended up using the Gong because I'm always like saving it. I'm never sure if I'm supposed to use the Gong or do something different. Do be afraid to use it? Yeah. Do or don't be afraid to use it. Oh, okay. The Dragon Air Weapon Shot is number of kills, not uses. Well, then it should be labeled differently. You can often recharge it manually. Okay. Let me go ahead and do that then. Alright. Cheers, Zelda. Earlier in each round, the better. Okay. But I'm also trying to, like, the thing about that is I'm also trying to finish those objectives on the side. I know they're just clear. You can just use that gong and probably wail on things with your weapon. But I'm also trying to do a lot of the objectives. It won't probably not be soon, Zelda. Sorry. I'm sorry to keep you away for longer. It's not the goal, but we're not anywhere near done with this game. Yeah, I recognize that auto activates at certain points. I have a hard time noticing that sometimes. I know there's a big notification of it and everything. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes when stuff like that goes off because I'm trying to read chat and learn how to freaking do this from you guys. I think when a bunch of people are trying to give me suggestions for this, it kind of overwhelms me. So I guess if you have a suggestion for me that you think isn't urgent, maybe wait until after we're done with the rampage. It's not super helpful to me while I'm actually in the thick of it. Yeah, like I'm not going for those elemental blights really, but I wouldn't mind getting the use the Dragonator or the inflict the status ailment. That's why we have a poison weapon here. Okay. Nope, there goes the gate. Whoops. Hello? Okay, well. Wouldn't let me fast travel. Still? You can shoot regular cannon shots while charging electric one? That's good to know. Yeah, our earlier rampage went really smoothly and well. This one is going quite poorly so far. I was not aware that they weren't fixed, but that's okay. That makes sense. Can I fast travel while in combat? Yeah, but there were no monsters nearby. I know how that works, but there wasn't anything by me that probably would have procced that. I was confused by that. Okay, gather all the materials. And here comes Apex Rathian. Good timing. Nothing will go wrong now. Can you tell you a habit of mine? I think I'm gonna have you wait, Marths. I can't. There's too much new information. Sorry. This one's going pretty poorly because I'm trying to learn too many new things at once. It's not something I can try and do all at once, unfortunately. Now I have to wail on the Apex till it dies. We won't fail. It's really hard to fail these, but I don't know. It's okay. There's more things for us to learn that are brand new to this. Like, I didn't realize that the use a Dragonator was based on kills and not just, like, you have to use it 4 times. We should probably plop down some of those dudes, huh? He probably could have been used when there were other monsters around, but here they come, so you know what, whatever. Oh, dead. Not really my thing, Aeon. I don't really care about the damage numbers that much. I'm glad that it's fun for folks, though. It's funny, yeah, they probably get pretty large with the gong, huh? Alright, we should probably ring the gong right now. What a confusing mode. Hey, we finished that one too. I'm really looking forward to unlocking the quests for these monsters that aren't in Rampages. The Rampage stuff weighs down these Apex monsters in a bad way. Whoops. Nope. Come on, drink it. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so she can do that left and right. Anyone else losing frames? We dropped a few frames there. It does look like that. Sorry, Pro Cow. Other way? Nope, just once that way that time. It would be best to have some defender turrets near her right now. I don't think we do have any near her right now. Oh, okay. If you're still having issues, Pro Cow, just reload. It should be fixed now. I could be dropping down more of the folks, but I don't know. I want to do better against the Rathian on my own, but also I'm just not doing very well against the Rathian right now. When you come in here and you're like super frazzled from the rest of the Rampage going pretty horrendously, I feel like it's not really your best headspace to try and learn a tough matchup. Dead again. So much going on. It's a bummer because really I enjoyed our Rampage earlier quite a bit. It felt like we had everything pretty much under control and so we could enjoy the actual Apex fight when it came. This is like the exact opposite of that. I have not really enjoyed much of this Rampage at all. Yeah. That one, not super fun. One earlier was pretty good fun, but this was not. What were you trying to post? Was close, was it? I don't know. We've never failed one. Didn't seem too bad, minus a couple feints. Yeah, it's such a weird game mode. I don't know what they were really going for, aside something that would be fun in multiplayer. And in that way, it's great. It's just kind of confusing from a game design perspective in other ways. Still an S rank. Very silly. Nice, we got a plate. Hey, we got some Defender Ticket 6. Nice. I've been waiting for some of those for some of my weapons. This makes me want to do it again, but I also don't want to do it again because that was that's not that great. Ramp up time? I don't even remember what weapons exactly I was waiting on it for. I think it was something... There were a couple elemental weapons that had elemental exploit that I was probably going to use, but I don't even know if elemental exploit's good. Yeah, I get that it is, Marth, because I had a nice one earlier tonight against Apex Arzros where everything felt like it went pretty well the whole time. It feels like... I'm more just kind of questioning it from like a design perspective. Like, how are you supposed to learn this outside of having many awful times initially and then going, okay, I have learned all of these weird eccentricities and now I can have a good time. The Wrath, all Mudroom weapons you're thinking of? Could be. Isn't that how Monster Hunter works? I guess? But like, usually Monster Hunter it's like, oh, I got hit by this move. Now I won't get hit by that move next time. Whereas this is like, oh, this poorly translated description of an objective I'm supposed to be going for told me to use it 4 times when it meant kill 4 monsters with it. Ah, now I get it. I don't know. It's just, it's frustrating to me in a way that regular Monster Hunter combat is not. Sure, that's fine, IRB Gidja. You go ahead. The status effect one seems tough to me. Like, I have my status weapon here, but it doesn't seem to really be doing that much. Sure, go ahead. You can try. Whoops. Blast orbs will get it done very quickly. Interesting. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Of course, yeah, you can use another weapon that can deal status a lot more reliably. Dragon warriors. I've never even used one of those. Those are the little decoys. Dragon bait. Yeah, I've never even used one of those. Oh shoot. I'm kind of with you, Aeon. Like, I think it's actually quite fun in multiplayer, and I think that was their end goal, was just let's make something with some variety to it that's fun in multiplayer, and I think they did a good job of it in that way. I just think it's just odd. And that map is great right behind that front platform there. Okay. I mean, I'll try it when we unlock it. Right now I don't have it or the Dragonator available. Alright, folks are saying to use the gong more often. I'm going to use the gong more. Not very far into the game, but is Rampage Quest the main content of Endgame? Nope. Nope, it's one of them. You'll probably need some of their tickets to upgrade your weapons. You get special tickets from the Rampage. I'm also not in the endgame, so I couldn't tell you with 100% certainty what the endgame has or does not have in it. But no, you'll do some of these in multiplayer or on your own if you want to, a couple times to upgrade the weapons you want to with the Rampage tickets. And outside of that, it seems like it should be just kind of a... You can do this with friends if you want to, as it's kind of cozy. You really have to do it solo. I'm doing it solo to try and practice, to try and understand how some things work a little better. And to get ready for the next urgent, which is going to be a Rampage. Also, Boriso P Twitch, thanks for the follow. Yeah, Roggy, dude. Riding a Roggy is great for this. Well, when the Kezu doesn't just freaking walk away from us. Oh my god. Aim it right, game. I can't aim it for you. There. Kezu wins by doing absolutely nothing, as is the usual. Okay. Let's get put the dragon bait there, and then you can use the Dragonator. Let's try and put some cannons here. So I can try and repel using a cannon. I don't think it's going to happen. They just feel really, really dumpy and bad in solo. I like the horn he plays, though. They do a lot of damage, more than the ballista by far. Yeah, but they're too slow. It feels like they might do a lot of damage like that, but they're too slow to really rely on. Okay, that's a defender cannon. Marth just told us to do that, so I'm trying it out, Aeon. Oops. Okay, Mizu's there. Anja didn't care at all. Cool. What happened to my gong? My gong over there? No. What happened to my gong? Did I get rid of the gong? How did I do that? Maybe you only get one gong. Gong is one use? Oh. They don't really seem to care about him too much. They're just kind of walking past him. Hi, Parsec. I had one rampage go really well earlier, and then a rampage go really poorly, so we're running it back, trying to do a little better. There's just too many different... people keep saying different strategies in the chat, and they're good strategies, and I'd like to know them in the back of my head. I don't know that I'm actually going to end up using all of them. It doesn't feel like you really need to a lot of the time. Probably shouldn't Dragonair for just Pookie. Which, like, is interesting on the one hand, where it's like, oh man, you can, like, there's so many different strategies you can go for. On the other hand, it's just like, it doesn't really matter what you do. No, I wanted to roll off of the platform, thank you. I fired a thunder shot right into him and it didn't count. Oh well. Or maybe it did. I don't know. What a weird game mode, man. Yeah, I think basically that trying everyone else's strategies might be a little bit much for me. So I think I'm probably just going to try and focus on what feels right for me. And we'll go from there. It's clear that some folks like using their weapons, some folks like using the installments. Or focusing on the objectives. This mode doesn't seem to really have a clear idea of what it wants you to do either, so... This is really good so far right now. There, we inflicted all the status ailments. That feels good. No, don't target the Pookie. Oh, Rathalos is gone. That's why I was targeting the Pookie. It's interesting. We're like, I don't know. It feels like I can have a smoother time just focusing on one or two of the objectives that I actually want to do, rather than crafting elaborate strategies to be like, okay, well, if I line up all these elemental bombs, and then put down the dragon bait, and then line up these fire turrets, then I'll be able to get all of the elemental blights that I'll need. Like, it just, I don't know. I think I'd rather just like, okay, here are the two objectives that I want to clear, and here's how I want to do it. That probably feels more comfortable to me than trying to go after all the different harebrained strategies you can do. Oh, whoops. Oh well, you can only put down 2. I forgot. Just kill everything that moves and you won't fail. Yeah, it feels like you can get like a good rating even without completing all of the objectives, and completing all the objectives seems pretty futile as a single player. You can prepare area 2 early. That's true, you can. I forgot about that. I guess I could do that right now. I actually don't really want to do that. I thought I did. I don't. Don't want to try and worry about, like, running back over to the other area. We'll just stay put here. Okay, or that could just not work. Yay, the RNG one got done. The repel using Pyro Bomb. They didn't even inflict an elemental blight. Nope, too late. There's a second dragon here by the gate. That's good to know. I didn't realize. Dude, this mode. I really wish they hadn't made that design decision. The whole, like, the monsters can... I mean, it's good that the monsters can knock you off of things in the regular maps. The monsters endlessly knocking you off of platforms in this map is just frustrating. Like, there's no counter signal up right now. I'm supposed to be using those installments right now. I'm not supposed to be using my weapon. I guess I could get the counter signal up because there is a gong back here. Let's do that. I know it is Marth, but the game presents otherwise. The game basically says, like, use the installations and stuff during this mode, use your weapon during this mode. Hey, Commander Henkel. Looking to see if there's anything I could pick up off the ground. Doesn't look like there is. Yomogi's great. She is, yeah. I agree. Nice job, cannons. Whoops. Good, the cat's got the KO. At least somebody did. Yellow sharpness, yay. Alright, let's go fix that. I also don't like how much stuff gets clogged up in your inventory. I know that's a weird thing to take issue with, but I feel like normally the game does a pretty decent job of making the item bar pretty easy to scroll through. Once you gum it up with a bunch of the rampage stuff, I actually have a hard time with it. Which feels silly. Should probably just use the radio menu for that. Hey, Soul. Oh, there's an ogre here now. Is there really a Pookie up there? There is. Dude, this mode. There we go. This mode is silly. I think that was ostensibly better than the first time we tried the Apex Rathian here. Just by a little bit, though. I should have taken Parsek's advice and prepared the second area earlier. I didn't want to, but I probably should have. Still S. Going for the objectives gives fun variety. Why, thank you, Uji. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that mode. That makes sense, Parsec. Yeah, your tip made sense. I just didn't feel like trying it in the heat of things. A lot of folks were giving us a lot of tips, and it overwhelmed me the first time. So I was kind of just trying to do my own thing. It is a good tip, though. Whoops, forgot to grab the first aids. That's okay. Yeah, I have such weird mixed emotions about that. Where, like, I can tell that part of the reason that that's feeling so stretched is because I'm just poor at it. I need to improve it using the different types of installations and just improve at the Apex monsters in general. But also part of it is, like, that's clearly not designed for solo play in terms of the objectives and in terms of how some things interact. Or, like, if the Apex is always aggroed to you, it's almost impossible to, like, set up some of the installations. I know it's not always, but let's say that it's really important that you set up an installation right then. You just can't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that mode. Around 275 Aeon. Whoops. Almost got the second Metsu. Oh, I thought I was going to charge. Well, that's the thing that's Hand Panda is, like, it doesn't really, that's the other part, is, like, it doesn't really matter if you do the objectives. Like, some of them will be feasible solo, some of them won't be. And you just get extra tickets for it, but, like, not that many extra tickets. Like, one extra ticket per objective, it looks like. Or, like, something like that. Which is, like, some, but I don't know. If I have to place down, like, 15 elemental bombs directly on top of monsters, that is not worth whatever one ticket I'm going to get for it. Like I said, I think it seems like there are lots of different ways. Like, part of that move, or part of that mode that's interesting is, like, it's not very strict in terms of what you need to do to complete it. So you can kind of pick and choose, both in terms of objectives and, like, you can use your weapon most of the time. You can use the installments most of the time. Like, there's a lot of interesting things you can do with that mean that you can do it however you kind of like to. I don't think I'll probably do it all the way that people in the chat have been telling me to do. Just probably will do it my own way. You need some monsters that die in like 5 hits to balance the game for you, Marths? Is that it? That's another thing about that mode is like, I don't know, I'm still not totally down with monsters just coming out and like just dying. I understand what you mean in terms of the chaotic mood of it. It being like, oh man, the game is like, I don't know. It being the variety the game needs is sort of an interesting take, I guess. I also don't really, I don't know. To me, I wouldn't say that, Marths, either, because things are not all aggroing onto you. They're aggroing onto different sorts of installments and things. I understand like wanting some variety from the rest of the game if the rest of the game has grown like very grindy for you, but also it's just like I feel like the rest of the game should be structured better rather than like, hey, here's this weird oddball mode that you need because the rest of the game is grindy. Oops. Sorry to be salty about it. I don't know. Like I said, mixed feelings. Hey, Beans. Whoop. Welcome. Oh, goodbye, Mizu. I think that... How are the hunts going? The hunts are going just fine. We've been collecting up a good chunk of gear. I was doing some practice soloing rampages today, and some of the time I had a good time, and some of the time I had a bad time. I don't know how I feel about that mode still. Are you talking about removing Bubble Blight? Cleanser removes Bubble Blight, Aeon. Did you test Greatsword? I've played a bunch of Greatsword. I didn't test Greatsword in Rampage or anything, but we've played a good chunk of Greatsword throughout the game. Whoops. Does hanging before pressing B give you momentum to go further? Yep, it carries you a little further than just pressing B to jump, usually. Whoop. Should probably heal. Love it so much. Tackling through monsters is just fancy. It's definitely very fun. I've been enjoying it. Do you like True Charge Slash or Rage Slash in this game, Baines? I've been kind of going back and forth between the two. I don't really know which one I like better. Oops. Deciding the monster matchup, but you do like both. You have to say TCS is just a big number and big number is good. Gotcha. Sure. Nothing wrong with that. It does have the biggest numbers, doesn't it? By Mizu. I don't think I'm really, like, I just kind of throw it out, Marks. I don't really worry about having it absorb the whole damage thing. I'm not trying to set that up every time I go for it. I just think of it as a more direct way to do a third charge level. If it gets some incidental damage, nice. If not, whatever. True charge, it feels like you back up a little bit, and then like you spin over your head, and it feels a little more tough to land. Rage Slash just makes it easy to land because it's a 360 and it's just one big hit. That's what I've been enjoying it for. That was useless. Oh well. Whoops. That was fun. Hey, we got an orb. That's cool. I didn't need an orb, I needed a plate, but I'll take an orb. We have 5 of them now, I think. It's a lot. Yeah, I'm just sitting here, Mark, so my brain's just mulling around like the things I think are neat about Rampages versus the things I'm just like not into. Wish you could do more with cahoots. Yeah, it'd be neat if you could. By your facial expression, it seems like a lopsided pro-cons list. I feel it's not like every design decision about it makes me upset. I think it's just like enough of it doesn't seem to make sense. It's just like, oh, what are you supposed to do with this? It seems like a very mixed kind of mode where it's just like you can kind of interact with it, or you cannot, or you can, or like some of it's designed for you to interact with it solo, some of it's just not. It's weird. The Kahoot skin to make it a macaw is actually super cool and you love it. It is really neat. I have it. I don't use it for my Kahoot. It's just too weird. But I think it's really cool. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of left feeling bewildered or frazzled by Rampage. It's just so weird. Now repel things with a machine cannon, now that I can do. Okay. Of course it swapped that one. Why would it swap that one? Oh, I thought I was in the installation already. Oh, I should have dropped him and then done that, huh? Well, that was a waste of a dragon there. Didn't repel a single thing. Oh well. How do you feel about charge blade in this game? See a lot of people talking about the change to the file hitboxes, but you don't see it as a nerf, more as a rage to the skill ceiling. I would feel that way if the damage was good on those files, but it feels like impact files across the board are a lot weaker than elemental files to me. I don't think it's a problem though, because elemental files are good, and I'd rather elemental CB be stronger than impact CB personally. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit interesting that the files themselves and how they work on the ground got changed, but that part doesn't really bother me. It's more so just that impact is a lot weaker. I know SAE, I guess I should say impact is a lot weaker for AED. I've never really been somebody who's gotten used to the whole like spam SAED as often as you can kind of thing. Pick up drop materials. Splitting Wyvern Shot unlocked. What is that? I think they weren't talking about the change to the way the trajectory worked, Mars. I think they were talking about the damage nerf. The damage nerf to SAD. Or just the damage nerf to impact files in general. Is I think what they were talking about. Huh. The cannon stole my kill on that. Well, that's too bad. See, like, stuff like that is like, I don't know. I just... That doesn't feel like a fun puzzle to solve. Is like, how can I keep these NPCs from stealing my kills I need for these objectives? Oh well. Okay. Now we can go ahead and ride this guy. Oh, I missed it. Oh well. Hey, Megradar, how's the night hunts going? The more I try and complete all the objectives, or the more I try and complete objectives in Rampage, the more frustrated I get. So I'm just kind of just doing. I'm just kind of doing the Rampage like I feel like doing the Rampage. Yeah, I think I'll definitely be more down to do this with other people, and I've done that in the past, and I like it. I just wanted to make sure I practice it solo, both so I can do the next urgent solo, which is a Rampage quest. And so that I kind of can have an actual opinion on what I think about Rampage solo. I think it's weird. It's hard to be upset at it because it's like impossible to lose. But at the same time, it's a bewildering cluster of game design decisions in terms of like what's incentivized for you to be doing at any given time, especially solo. Is he done? He's done. Okay. Oh, wasted. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, to me, Martz, I think we just have a different definition of what bad RNG is. I think to me, like, it seems like a lot of these objectives are not all that compelling to do solo. Definitely feels like completing the Rampage solo is fine. Like, I don't think there's a problem with it. It seems okay. It just seems like a large majority of the objectives seem like a little bit irritating to complete solo. But I still have a lot of experimenting to do with it. I don't know. I know, Marth, you said that, like, on repetition, you liked trying to do more of the objectives because it gave you some variety of things to go for. I think figuring out ways to do the things that it asks you to do smoothly sounds pretty satisfying. Like, here you'd be purely strategizing around those 3 objectives. I feel no... Like, it feels way too random to me to be like, can I get them all to line up here in a line on this spot with the Dragonator in order to repel them? And there's no way I'm inflicting that many elemental blights. Like, I don't really care to go around dropping down that many elemental bombs, especially when it doesn't always seem like the elemental bombs apply a status blight to them. And I only have a couple. I only have 3. Cannon inflicts elemental blight? Yeah. I also don't like using the cannon. The cannon feels really dumpy solo to me because it takes a long time to charge up, and its ammunition doesn't feel like powerful enough to actually make up for the fact of how slow it is. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to do it. It just feels frustrating, some of those objectives. Giving your Palico Palamute elemental weapons is easiest for Blight. Did they do a Blight? Why did they do a Blight and not us? That's so weird. Okay, I should actually be focusing on doing things. Okay, let's get her out of the air. Hello? Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need more practice marks to make obtaining those sorts of objectives more doable. But so far, a lot of those more obscure objectives, like kill 5 or repel 5 things using the Dragonator, seem pretty frustrating to complete. Did that miss? I can't tell if that missed or not. Xcolith, thanks for the follow. It's probably... Oh my god, the wall running in this game, man. It's probably mostly just that I need more practice with it. I think that there are some pretty mystifying design decisions for this. I still am kind of just mulling around in my head how I would describe how I feel about this. Because, like, having to multitask different monsters in a siege arena isn't a bad idea. It's just kind of weird how they went about trying to give you different priorities at different times. Let's go ahead and use that spinning wyvern shot here. I guess we could wait until other monsters are here. They're here now. How about now? Boom. It did not repel the Nargacuga. Oh, of course, because it made it mountable. Okay. I think it definitely also works really, really well in multiplayer. I think that they could probably have tweaked it a bit for single player. And I know they do with the scaling, of course, but I think they could have tweaked some other aspects to make this make a little more sense in single player. I think that's might be where I'm at, is like, I feel like it feels like you're playing a multiplayer mode on your own, which, I mean, you are, ostensibly, but it's just like, I think there could have been some design decisions they could have changed a bit. Even if it's just tweaking the objective values or just making some solo-only objectives pop up or something. Stuff that makes it feel a little more doable. Ow. Alright, let's start using some of these. I get that you can appreciate it as like a bit of variety. I understand that, Marths. I understand the variety part. I don't think that it being variety saves it from having some bewildering choices in terms of like how it's incentivized for like how different things are incentivized, but then also not really in a way that always makes sense depending on what's going on. But like at some points here, it's incentivized to use the installations over your weapon, but at the same time, the Apex is able to knock you off repeatedly over and over. What's the alternative? That you can't get hit on the installations? I don't know. Not that you can't get hit. It's just, it's not that I'm angry you take damage. It's like it fully knocks you off the platform every time. I think it's okay if you take a hit and maybe the installation takes a hit, but it's just like if you're up there and you're trying to put down an installation when the Apex monster keeps running into it, you're just unable to. And so I'm just kind of like, it's confusing. Situations like that where like you might have You might have one of the installations as one of your end objectives and just be unable to place one down. You can block on them. I'm talking about trying to install an installation, Dog Crotchel, not use an installation on the monster. If you're trying to install an installation up there and the Apex monster won't even let you scroll through the menu to install it, it's pretty frustrating. That was definitely our smoothest run of Apex Rathian. Carix, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of feeling baffled about that mode. I don't have anything intelligent to say about it, I think is what I would say is I haven't done it enough. I haven't done enough of the available rampages in the game. I haven't done enough of the multiplayer or single player. At some point, I'll be able to give you a more nuanced take on like how I think this game mode's kind of all over the place and undercooked, but for now, that's all I'm going to leave you with. Hey, we got Rathy and Ruby. That's nice. We didn't have any more of those. I had already gotten one before, but now we have an extra one. How mandatory is Rampage mode for the full enjoyment of the game? Is it possible to just decide not to play it? There are certain quests in the game that are like the gate progression that are Rampages. So you'll have to do a couple of them. You don't have to do them. Right now I'm doing them just to practice them because the next... If you look in the top right, it says Hub Urgent Quest Serpent God of Wind. That's a Rampage quest. There will be like, I think, between 3 and 5 that are required, and then you could never touch them again if you wanted to. In multiplayer, they're a lot more fun. It feels a lot more balanced around that, where you can pick one objective and go, okay, I'm going to be the cannon guy, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to use a cannon over and over until we get this cannon objective cleared. You don't have to try and multitask between, I got to defend the gate, I got to be placing down these other installments, all this other stuff. It's really not so bad in multiplayer. It feels fun and cozy, honestly. I'm trying it out in solo, like I said, to practice it, and also just to try and form an opinion of what I think of that game mode. I think that just throwing more people at a game mode and saying, okay, it's balanced now, isn't a good way to design something. So I want to spend some more time with it solo to the point where I can talk about, like, okay, here's where I think this mode does well, here's where I think this mode does wrong. Yeah, so it's not like an integral part of the game. I mean, it's a big part of the marketing for the game, and it's definitely part of the game. It's just it's not the main gameplay loop. It's not part of the main gameplay loop, I don't think. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. I think I was going to augment the Rathalos Sword and Shield with Element Exploit. Is Elemental Exploit good? I don't know much about how it works. Guess you don't understand. You don't fail them ever and get plenty of tickets, even if not S+ grade? Yeah. I mean... I think it doesn't bother me from like a this is impossible to get to like do well with Dog Crotchel. It bothers me from like a this is just a bewildering experience. If you were dropped into a game that had a lot of different instructions and different things you were supposed to do, and then the game was just kind of like nothing matters, you win, it's kind of like it's not like necessarily frustrating in that way of like a, oh, I couldn't finish the quest, but it's like it's frustrating in like a but if nothing matters and I win, then like why does it matter if I do any of this stuff? 30% more elemental damage on 25 plus hit zones. 25 plus elemental hit zones. Not every monster has 25 plus elemental hit zones, do they? Yeah, like if you were bringing water to Aknasom, you'd only be hitting its legs. That's kind of dumpy. It's good on Almudron. So good on certain things. Yeah, you can go for his tail and you can go for his head. It might be like on an element to element basis. You might look at, okay, Rathalos is pretty weak to dragon, so you could bring it for Rathalos, I guess. I don't know. That's quite situational because very few things have 25 and higher. I guess I have a question, Marth. Do you think, like, let's say it got a lot harder and you could fail a lot easier. Do you think it would still feel balanced? Like, to me, it seems like they made a system that works well in multiplayer and you could probably scale up the difficulty in multiplayer, but then if you had a really strict version of the Rampage solo, it wouldn't go very well. You'd have to have already run Rampages a lot of times over in order to be, like, in a space where you could know, okay, I have to put down this bait in this center point, and then I have to use the Dragonator with the right timing to knock out the monsters there. Like, in order to really do it 100% really well as a solo player, you have to really practice it. And so I feel like, to me, it seems like it's a not particularly balanced design for a game mode if you have to make it easier to make it palatable. And I think like, they've made it so easy to complete with good rankings and getting good tickets that it's just like, it doesn't feel like any of that stuff in there particularly matters. Like, you can flounder your way through and it still goes, here's an A rank, here's an S rank, here's a bunch of tickets. It's like, it's just bewildering, I think, is really the word that sticks out to me. It's just like, I'm just kind of confused about it in terms of how is this designed? What was the intention of how you're, like, what is the intended path of a player? Like, what is their first Rampage supposed to look like? What is their, what's like a really practiced, like, Rampage supposed to look like? And I think it bothers me on both ends because, like, I feel like it probably doesn't adequately reward you for the skill you're using to get really good. Like, if you're playing at top level, you're soloing it, you're doing most of the objectives, and you're getting like an S+, is it really adequately rewarding you for how much multitasking and skill that took? Not really. And if you're playing it and you're barely doing anything, you're still getting an S, you're not really being, like, it's just, I don't know, it's very weird. So people don't get frustrated by losing something that's so different. I think they're just putting their, you think they're just putting our feet in the water and later we'll have to swim. I think that would be interesting. I think, to me, I think what I would say about it is I think if they made it a lot stricter and harder, it would be a lot worse, and that would reveal that it's not a particularly well-designed game mode. Like, it's not a particularly good fit for Monster Hunter. Is what I really think about it. I think it's easy because I think if you made it too strict, it wouldn't fit well. And so rather than design something that fit well or go, oh shoot, this doesn't fit well, we need to change our plans, they just went, okay, we'll make it easy. That's really assumptive, though. I mean, that's really assumptive of me. That's just like, that's how I'm seeing it, is like they made this thing, and if you made that thing difficult, it wouldn't work, so they were just made it easy. That's probably, I mean, like, who knows if that's the series of events that took place. Wondering how much they're going to change it with updates and expansions. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do change it much. I mean, it's totally possible they could just drop it in G rank and go, yeah, that was a high rank thing, like the Kolv Tareth siege. Like, you never saw that really in master rank, right? Or was there one? I don't even remember. I don't know. There was just a regular Kolv hunt. That's what I thought. Like, they basically didn't revisit that. They were like, yeah, that siege, that was interesting with all these objectives. We're not going back to that. I mean, like, they did with Safi, obviously, but... I don't know. It's weird. Like, I think the word The word that comes to mind for me over and over is just bewildering. I am just bewildered by its prominence in the game and the easiness of it, but also kind of the all over the place of it when you're solo. I think it makes so much more sense in multiplayer, and it's a lot more fun in that context, but it's just like it's also just kind of bizarre to me in solo. Like I said, I think I'm going in circles now. I'll probably stop about talking about that, but there you go. That's like a lot of people have asked like recently what I thought about Rampages, especially solo, and just like I don't know. I don't know, man. They're weird. We'll see how I continue to think about them as we get towards the end of the game where there are more apexes and other monsters to fight in them. Let's have fun with the parts we enjoy. I'm not even like trying to say that I'm not going to ever have fun with them. I think it's satisfying to try and get better at them, and I think it's satisfying to practice them. I don't know. There's just a part of me that's like, do I really want to practice getting good at like hitting things with elemental barrel bombs or like setting up Dragonator traps? Maybe, maybe not. They give you the tools to make it go smoothly solo. I just think the whole, like, I think by they give you the tools to make it go smoothly solo, it just like, it's almost impossible to fail. That's what I would say about that. It's kind of a relief and a way to blow off steam. It totally is. I enjoyed doing it multiplayer with folks. I don't think it's like they give you the tools to make it go smoothly. I think it's just like the values needed to fail are so high, and the monster, like, it's like almost impossible to fail. So I don't really think there's tools to do it. You don't have to complete all of them because some are just legit impossible solo. Yeah, the objectives. Yeah, I know. I'm not that upset that there are objectives you can't complete solo. That's not like my big deal or anything. All right. I'll sleep on this. I'll sleep on this. I think for tonight, I'm probably just going to call it there. Well, let's see. Let's see if one of the good maps has a mining run available. If we can, we'll do that. That's always a good way to wind down. No mining run. Okay, no mining run. I saw it in a good night tonight. Like, I mean, that's something I've legitimately been meaning to get around to is sitting there and just going, okay, well, I haven't done Rampages in a while. Let's do some more Rampages. Let's figure out how I feel about them. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about them. I mean, we S-ranked 3 of them on our own against Apex monsters, so that's something. I don't know, man. All right. We'll see you in 7 hours? Yeah. Oh, I'm not... Did you think I was staying up all night? I'm not staying up all night. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple hours for the update stream. Don't come by if you're averse to spoilers. Thought you were going to go for about 1 more hour? No, this is about our regular time. I think saying something general like that, Marths, is probably not a good way of describing it. Because cusp of control can be had in a lot of different ways. You compared it to, like, double monsters in an arena. But they're just very different types of gameplay. I feel like all different types of cusp of control would probably not be fun. Some are, some aren't. When is this happening again? The update stream will be live in 7 hours. All right, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep. If it's anyone's first time by the stream, pull it far. or Poltifar, excuse me. Poltifar, thank you for the follow. If it's anyone's first time by the stream and you liked it, think about leaving a follow. I'm going to be here soloing Monster Hunter for a long time. Maybe someday we will figure out how we feel exactly about Rampages. Until then, there'll be lots of me going, I don't know. All right, let's see. We have a cozy Discord server where folks talk off stream about Monster Hunter. We'll probably continue talking there about Rampage over the next couple of days, I would imagine, because I have some fresh thoughts to expound upon. Feel free to join us there if you'd like to. We have a YouTube page where I upload VODs if you like watching things off of Twitch and on YouTube instead. Check out that. And I have a Twitter where I tweet about Monster Hunter. Sometimes clips, sometimes little screenshots, sometimes just thoughts. Maybe there'll be some Rampage thoughts there. You never know. As for tonight, we're going to find somebody else who's streaming Monster Hunter. We're going to give them a raid, and then I'm probably going to go have leftover pizza and then sleep, which should be fun. I think we're going to raid our friend Monstropolis. They're streaming Yakuza Like a Dragon. I wouldn't raid someone not playing Monster Hunter very often, excuse me. But Monstropolis is really rad, and Yakuza seems like a pretty cool game. I also know I can walk in there and go like Gun and Floor Shed Mauled, and he'll be like Gun and Floor Shed Mauled. Mons is in my court. So, I'll see you guys all. I probably won't. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the update stream, but I probably won't see you guys after that. After that, I'm going to be taking the night off to spend some time with coworkers before I move. Kind of a going away party. So yeah, I'll see you guys on Thursday. After tomorrow's update stream, of course. Hope you guys have a nice night or a good day, whatever time it is where you are. Cheers. Have fun at Monstropolis' stream, and good night.